I often find myself wide awake at 3 a.m. The house is silent, the world is asleep, but I'm just staring at the ceiling. Used to be, 3 a.m. meant a case gone cold, a late flight, or maybe a call from one of the kids. Now, it's just the quiet hum of the refrigerator and my own thoughts keeping me company. Retirement. It changes things. Your routine, your outlook, and yes, even your sleep. One reason we might find ourselves wide awake at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling or the glowing numbers of the clock, is melatonin. This tiny hormone, often called the sleep hormone, plays a huge role in helping us drift off and stay asleep through the night. You know that hormone that helps us sleep deeply through the night? Well, as we grow older, our bodies naturally start to produce less and less of it. It's a subtle change, but it can have a big impact. Suddenly, the deep, uninterrupted sleep we once took for granted becomes more elusive, and we find ourselves waking up more often, sometimes for no clear reason at all. It's almost as if the body's natural sleep aid starts to fade out right when we need it most. And here's the thing, melatonin is incredibly sensitive to light. Even a little bit of brightness in the room, like the soft glow from a digital clock or the faint light sneaking in from the hallway, can signal to your brain that it's time to wake up, not sleep. That's why small things like a blinking alarm clock, a phone charging light, or a hallway nightlight can be enough to disrupt our sleep. These tiny sources of light can trick our brains, making it harder to fall back asleep once we've woken up in the middle of the night. It's a frustrating cycle, and it can leave us feeling groggy and unrested the next day. As we age, it's almost as if our sleep becomes more delicate, more easily disturbed by things we never used to notice. I used to think I could sleep through anything. A thunderstorm, a barking dog, even the television left on in the next room. But now, the smallest change in my environment can wake me up. These days, I've learned just how important true darkness is for a good night's rest. I keep my bedroom as dark as possible, making sure to turn off all screens and cover up any little lights before bed. I also try to wind down in the evening with a quiet walk or by reading a book, helping my body recognize that it's time to relax and prepare for sleep. Little things really do make a difference. It's not about fighting the changes that come with aging, but about understanding them and adapting. Our bodies change, and so do our needs. By paying attention to our environment and our routines, we can give ourselves the best chance at a restful night and wake up ready to greet the day. Ever notice how you get sleepy earlier these days? That's our internal clock, our circadian rhythm, shifting as we age. It moves forward, meaning we get sleepy earlier, and naturally wake up earlier too. So if you're falling asleep at 9 p.m., it's no surprise you're awake by 3 a.m. It's not insomnia, it's just your body's clock resetting itself. My friend Charles, he's a creature of habit, always has been. But when retirement hit, his routine went out the window, and so did his sleep. He'd be up at all hours, then drag himself through the day. He finally decided to adjust his evening routine. A warm light, a short book, and a quick call to his daughter. It helped stretch his sleep window, gave him something to look forward to in the evenings. Now, sometimes waking up at 3 a.m. has nothing to do with clocks or hormones. Sometimes it's our body talking to us. A sore back, an achy hip, a full bladder. They may seem small during the day, but at 3 a.m. when everything else is quiet, they feel louder. It's like our bodies choose those still, quiet hours to remind us they're there. And let's be honest, those aches and pains? They tend to make themselves known more as we get older. I've learned to pay attention to these things. I notice how my medication affects my sleep. Even the timing of a pill can make a difference. A little stretching before bed, a glass of water on the nightstand, they can make those 3 a.m. wake-up calls a lot less frequent. Retirement. It's a big change. For many, it's the first time in decades that the daily grind of work, commutes, and packed schedules suddenly disappears. The world seems to slow down, and you're left with a blank slate, a chance to create a new routine, but also a challenge to fill the hours in a way that feels meaningful. And with it comes a whole new rhythm to life. Dinner is earlier, evenings are quieter. The hustle and bustle of the workday is replaced by a gentle calm. The television hums softly in the background and the sun seems to set a little slower. You might find yourself wondering what to do with all this newfound time. And bedtime often comes sooner than we expect. Without the pressure of early meetings or deadlines, it's easy to slip into the habit of winding down earlier and earlier each night. Now, this might sound nice at first, but it can also push our whole schedule earlier, including wake-up time. Suddenly, you're up before the birds, long before the rest of the world stirs, and the mornings can feel endless. We're creatures of habit, and sometimes our bodies need a little help adjusting to a new normal. The routines we built over a lifetime don't just disappear overnight. It takes patience and a bit of creativity to find what works best. I remember talking to Walter about this. He was one of those people who always seemed to have boundless energy even after he retired. He was fit as a fiddle, always active, but retirement threw him for a loop. The lack of structure made him restless, and he found it hard to settle into a new pattern. He'd be up at the crack of dawn, but then feel exhausted by lunchtime. The days felt long, and he missed the sense of purpose that work had given him. His internal clock was all out of whack. He'd stare at the clock, wondering how to fill the hours, and sometimes even nap in the middle of the day, which only made things trickier at night. He started making small changes, nothing drastic, just little tweaks to his day that made a big difference over time. Eating dinner a little later, so he wouldn't get hungry too early in the morning, taking a walk in the afternoon, which helped him stay energized and gave him something to look forward to each day. Reading in brighter light after dinner, which signaled to his body that it wasn't quite time for bed yet. He wasn't trying to fight his body's natural rhythm, he was working with it. And you know what? Over time, these small changes added up. He started sleeping a bit longer. The nights felt more restful, and the mornings less rushed. And waking up feeling more rested. Retirement is a journey, not a destination, and with a little patience, you can find a rhythm that feels just right for you. Now here's the thing about 3 a.m. It's a strange hour, isn't it? The world outside is silent, the streets are empty, and even the air feels different. Most people are deep in sleep, but for some of us, 3 a.m. is when we find ourselves wide awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the soft hum of the night. Sometimes, waking up isn't about your body at all. It's about your mind. It's as if your thoughts have been waiting all day for this quiet moment, when there are no distractions, no phone calls, no chores, just you and your thoughts, your heart, your past, the things you've loved, the things you've lost, and the dreams you still carry with you. The world is quiet, and suddenly those thoughts we push aside during the day come rushing in. Memories come back. Old emotions resurface. It's like your mind opens a door you thought was locked, and everything you've tucked away comes out to visit. Regrets, joys, fears, they all seem to find us in the stillness of the night. Sometimes it feels overwhelming, but sometimes it's a gentle reminder of who we are and where we've been. And sometimes that can be a good thing. In those quiet hours, we can listen to ourselves in a way we can't during the busy day. We can find clarity or even a little bit of healing. My friend Gloria, she's a writer, always has been. She's spent her life filling notebooks with stories, poems, and memories. And she told me that some of her best ideas come to her at 3 a.m. She says it's as if her mind is clearer, her heart more open, and the words just flow onto the page. At first, she used to fight it, try to force herself back to sleep, frustrated by the interruption. She worried about being tired the next day, about not getting enough rest. But then she realized those quiet, Early hours were when her heart spoke the loudest. The silence gave her space to listen to her own thoughts, to let her creativity breathe. Now she keeps a journal by her bed. It's become a ritual, a gentle invitation to welcome whatever thoughts or feelings arrive in the night. When she wakes up at 3 a.m., she doesn't turn on the light or toss and turn. She writes. A few simple thoughts. Sometimes it's a memory, sometimes a worry, sometimes just a single word that means something to her. A soft moment of reflection. It's her way of making peace with the night, of letting her heart speak without judgment or hurry. She finds peace in giving her heart a voice, and it helps her fall back asleep gently. Maybe that's the real secret of 3 a.m. It's not just a time to be awake, but a time to listen, to remember, and to let yourself be heard. So if you wake up at 3 a.m., don't be too hard on yourself. You're not broken. You're evolving. Your body is changing. Your rhythm is shifting. And your soul still needs space to be heard. We spend so much of our lives chasing sleep, dreading those nighttime awakenings. But what if we looked at them differently? What if, instead of fighting the silence, we listened to it? Sometimes the best kind of rest comes not from silence, but from listening. Listening to our bodies, our hearts, our own unique rhythms. You're not alone in this. I'm right there with you. And together we can learn to sleep and live with more peace.